Hello, welcome to ELA On Demand. My name is Adam, and today we're going to be doing Vinyasa flow. We're going to be focusing mainly on hips and hip opening, hip release, and hamstrings. And yeah, so slip into something comfy and find a comfortable space on your mat. Let's start out laying down on our back. So find a spot at the middle, and then just a spot to sit down at the middle, and then lay down, finding a nice comfortable space on the back body. And taking a few moments to just tune into all your sensations throughout the physical body. Scanning the physical body from the toes to the ankles. Maybe give some ankle rolls, some wiggles in the toes. And then feel all the way up into the calves and the knees. Making sure that the eyes stay closed as you scan the body, so you can bring the awareness fully internally. And bringing the awareness up to your thighs and your quads, your hips, in your core, your internal organs, and feeling into the chest and the shoulders. And allowing the arms to relax. Maybe making a fist with the hands, and then releasing the fist so the hands relax. Shoulders relaxed. Maybe clear the throat. And bring the awareness up to the crown of your head and your third eye. Releasing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Give the jaw a little wiggle. Release the jaw. And with the awareness at the crown of the head, bring the awareness to the center of your head. Right between the space between your ears and the space right between your eyes. Take a moment and set intention for your practice. Setting your day aside, setting any tasks or to-do lists. And taking this time for yourself, taking this time for yoga and connecting with the internal body and the physical body. Start off with about 5 deep breaths. So inhale through the nose, fill up the belly and the chest. And exhale, release. Inhale, fill up, inhaling into the belly, expand the ribs, and exhale, release. Take it through about 3 more rounds. Inhale. Each breath being a little deeper than the last. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, release. Take about 2 more rounds, each breath being a little deeper. Take 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale, release. And then begin to bring some movement into the body. So wiggle out the toes and the fingers. Circle out the wrist and the ankles. Then give some big circles in the elbows. Maybe bringing the hands and arms up above the head, giving yourself a full body stretch. And then gently bring a bend into the knees. Give a little windshield wiper motion with the knees left and right. Just feeling into the low back and the lumbar. There's no right or wrong movement here. just allow your body to move in whatever way feels good. So you can maybe bring the arms into it, creating a counterbalance, bringing the arms and hands to the opposite side that the knees are on. And then bringing the knees to the other side and arms and hands to the other side. Just taking a few more moments and just tuning in to movement here. And then bring the knees to stillness. Give a little tuck of the chin to the chest and bring the arms and hands long on both sides of the body. Palms flat. Inhale, push into the feet, bring the hips up to the sky into bridge pose. Slight engagement on the inner thighs, tracking those knees towards one another, squeezing the glutes at the top. Inhale. Then exhale, bring the hips back down, one vertebrae at a time, hips and tailbone touch last. And creating a wave-like motion with the spine, inhale, bring the hips back up, slowly. Squeezing the glutes at the top, then exhale, one vertebrae at a time, hips come back down. Do that 3 more times, slowly. Bring the hips up, creating that wave-like motion with the spine. At the top of the breath, exhale, bring the hips back down. 2 more times. Gently warming up the spine and the hips. Exhale, bring the hips down. Inhale, hips will come up. Exhale, hips down. Let's do that 1 more time. This time when the hips come up, hold there for about 5 breaths. Keeping those inner thighs engaged, squeezing the glutes. Maybe if you would like more, you can interlace the fingers under the body, rolling the shoulders back, bringing the shoulders into it. A few more moments here. One more breath, inhale. If you have the fingers interlaced, go ahead and release them. Then exhale, bring the hips back down. And then bring the knees into the chest. The knees can be wide or they can be together. Or if you'd like, you can bring some movement. You can circle out the knees, giving a little circle motion on the low back. Maybe bringing the knees together and then bringing them apart. Then bring the knees together if they're not. And then bring the arms long on both sides, reaching them out. And just allow the knees to fall to the right, creating a gentle spinal twist. Won't be here too long, just a few moments, allowing the legs to be heavy, knees heavy. Then inhale, bring the knees back to center and allow the knees just to gently fall to the left. Then bring the knees back to center. And we'll bring the knees into the chest. Hands wrap around the knees. Go ahead and cross the ankles and build up some momentum and give a few spinal rolls, keeping the knees hugged in tight, giving each vertebrae a nice massage. And finding a gentle finding a comfortable seat. Sitting up tall in a cross-legged position. Once you arrive, give the shoulders a few shrugs. Then inhale, circle sweep the arms up, hands up to the sky. Bring the prayer hands down to heart center, coming back to that intention that you set before. And take a breath in that space. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up. And then we'll exhale, twist to the right. Left hand on the right knee, right hand will be at the base of the spine. Sitting up tall as you twist, maybe gazing past that right shoulder. One more breath here. Then inhale, circle sweep the arms back up to the sky. Then exhale, twist to the left, right hand on the left knee, left hand at the base of the spine. One more breath here. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up. Bring the right hand on the outside of the right hip, plant that right palm, then reach that left hand towards the right, creating that lateral stretch on the left side of the body. Take a deep breath, opening up the left side. Inhale, bring the hands and arms back up to the sky. Then exhale, left hand to the left, or next to the left hip, reach the right hand to the left. And take a deep breath, opening up the right side of the rib cage. Inhale, bring the hands and arms back up to the sky. Really reach up to the sky with those fingertips. And then exhale, twist to the right, left hand on the right knee, gazing back behind that right shoulder. Then inhale, circle sweep the hands and arms up to the sky. And exhale, twist to the left, right hand on the left knee one more time, gazing past that left shoulder. Inhale, hands and arms come up to the sky. And then right hand comes to next to the right hip, reaching that left hand one more time towards the right. Maybe this time, notice if you can reach a little further. No pain though. Inhale, hands and arms come up. Then exhale, left hand to the left, right hand reaches to the left. Inhale, both hands and arms come up. Reach up with those fingertips. And then we'll cactus the elbows. So elbows come down, heart moves forward, palms are open. Inhale, bring the hands up, and then exhale, hands come down through heart center, hands to the knees. And then we'll create a few neck rolls with the neck. So allow the left ear to fall to the left shoulder, and then chin to the chest, and then right ear to right shoulder. And chin to the chest, left ear to left shoulder, and chin back to the chest, right ear to right shoulder. And if you would like, if you're not already, you can drop the head back. And then left ear to left shoulder, chin to the chest, creating that full rotation throughout the neck. Go the opposite direction. There's a lot of stress and tension that is held in the neck, so just allow yourself a few moments to release that. And notice any hitches in the transitions, any crunchiness in the movement of the neck. Just notice anything that may be going on. And then bring the head to stack. And then plant the palms in front and just allow yourself to roll over the shins and the knees and find tabletop. Shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. Find a wide grip in the palms. So spread those fingers wide. Really grip into the palms. Hips over the knees. Finding that flat back. And then we'll inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze up to the sky, fan out the tailbone into cow. And exhale, pushing the mat away, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone, chin to the chest. Into cat, really round the spine, sending the back up to the sky. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze back up, fan out the tailbone. Exhale, pushing the mat away, rounding out the spine. Taking this slow, there's no reason to rush. Take it slow and really notice any little movement. A lot of times we tend to move fast in life. Sometimes we tend to move fast in our practice. But I really encourage you to take this slow. Take a couple more rounds here. And then come into a neutral spine in tabletop. Maybe give a little circle in the hips. Find some movement in the hips there. Maybe a little circle in the shoulders. You can gently bring the hips down to the heels, if that feels good. Just a few movements in whatever way feels good in your body. And then finding that neutral spine in tabletop. Bring the right leg long. Making sure that that right hip's not rolling up. Keep that right hip squared with the left. And then bend the right knee. And from here, create 10 stomps with that right foot on the ceiling. So inhale, then exhale, stomp with that right foot. So exhale, bring that right foot up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then send the right foot to the outside of the left side of the mat so that now this right hip is going to stack on the left hip. Allowing that right hip to open up. And then bring the right leg long. And then bring the right knee back down to the earth, and we'll do that same thing on the left side. So left leg goes long. And then left knee bends. Create those 10 stomps with that left foot, really engaging the left glute. Inhale, exhale, stomp. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then send that left foot to the outside of the right side of the mat. Stacking the left hip on the right. And then left leg will go long. Bring that left knee back down. And then that right leg will go long once more. And then this time, reach that left hand out to the front of the mat, or the front of the room, creating that spinal balance. Make sure that you have a strong, wide grip in that right palm. Inhale, reach with that left hand. Maybe bring the gaze to where you're reaching. And then exhale, elbow to knee, rounding out the spine. Really crunch in the core. Inhale, reach, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach, spinal balance. Maybe bend that right knee if you'd like. And you can, an option, you can reach that left hand to the inside of the right foot and kick into that left hand with the right foot. Gently release out of that if you're in it, and then come back to that tabletop. Take a round of cat-cow in here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze up. Exhaling, push the mat away, round out the spine. Come back to tabletop. Left leg goes long. Strong grip in that left palm, left hand. Inhale, reach the right hand forward. Maybe lifting the gaze to where you're looking, or lifting the gaze to where you're reaching. Inhale, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach, lengthen out. Exhale, elbow to knee. 3 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach out, lengthen spinal balance, back to tabletop. 1 more round of cat-cow. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze up. Exhaling, pushing the mat away, round out the spine. Come back to tabletop. Go ahead and bring the knees wide. Bring the big toes together to touch and come to a child's pose. Allow the hips to sink back, forehead to the mat. And taking a few moments here just to release into the hips. From here, crawl the hands out to the right side, the outside of the right side of the mat. And create a push-pull action with the hand. So push with that right hand forward and then pull with that left hand back. And it should really deepen the stretch on that left side. And then walk the hands back to center. And walk the hands and arms to the outside of the right side of the mat. And then creating that push-pull with the hand. So this time pulling back with that left hand and pushing forward with the right hand. And then walk the hands and arms back to center. Back to child's pose. And maybe give a little rock on the forehead. Temple to temple, coming back to your intention. Massaging the brow, massaging the third eye. And remind yourself to trust your intuition always. Root into the palms and float up into tabletop. Bring the knees back under the hips. Find a strong, wide grip in the palms, so spread those fingers wide. And tuck the toes behind you. Hover the shins for a moment. Inhale, and then exhale. Send the hips up and back into downward facing dog. And just notice here if there's any soreness in the hamstrings. There's definitely some soreness in my hamstrings. So maybe give some pedals in the feet, lengthening the hamstrings out. And being mindful of the shoulders here, have that external rotation in the shoulders. Really gripping into the palms, taking the weight out of the wrists. And weight is more into the palms and towards the tips of the fingers. Head is heavy. Give a few more breaths here in your downward facing dog. Tailbone moving up to the sky, hips moving up to the sky. Inhale, bring the right foot up, right heel up to the sky into your three-legged dog. Go ahead and bend that right knee and stack the right hip onto the left hip. Really pushing into that right hand to square out the shoulders, allowing the hips to open up a little more here. One more breath. Bring that right leg out long, three-legged dog. Right foot comes down to meet the left, and then do the same thing on the other side. Left heel comes up, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, stack the left hip on the right. Pushing into that left hand, keep those shoulders squared. Opening up the hips. And left leg goes long, three-legged dog. And then bring the left foot down to meet the right. Full downward facing dog. Inhale, right heel comes up. Then exhale, bring the right knee to the right tricep or right elbow, or towards it, wherever it reaches. And then inhale, right foot comes back up. Then exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. Really hug it in. And inhale, right foot comes up. And then exhale, cross that right knee to the left elbow. Inhale, right heel comes back up. Then exhale, right foot comes back down to meet the left. Inhale, left heel comes up. Then exhale, left knee to left elbow or left tricep. Inhale, left heel comes back up. Exhale, hug that left knee into the chest. Inhale, three-legged dog, left heel comes up. And then crossing the left knee to the right elbow, right tricep. Really feeling strong in the core. Inhale, left heel comes up. Left foot comes down to meet the right. Inhale, right heel comes up. And then sweep that right foot through, finding that low runner's lunge. Feel into the hips here. Hips may be a little tight, so give a little rock forward and back. You can tent the fingers, framing the right foot. Keeping those left toes tucked, left knee off the mat. Plant the left palm on the inside of the right foot. Then inhale that right hand up to the sky to a revolved side angle. And breathe. Right shoulder stacked on left, reaching those fingertips up to the sky. Then right hand will come back down. Go ahead and drop that left heel. Bring the right hand on the inside of the right foot, and the left hand will come up to the sky into a full side angle. Left shoulder stacked on right. And breathe. One more breath. Left hand comes down. Go ahead and frame that left foot. Tuck those left toes if they're not. Inhale, bring the heart forward, lift the gaze up. And then exhale, straighten out that right knee and scoot that left foot up slightly. Drop the left heel, come into a pyramid. So that left heel is on the mat. Left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Framing the right foot with the hands. You can tent the fingers, maybe having a soft bend in that right knee. Forehead towards the knee or the shin. Take a couple more breaths here. And then go ahead and bring a gentle bend back into that left knee. Tuck those left toes behind you. And a low runner's lunge. Go ahead and plant the palms. Inhale, right foot comes up and back. And then bring the right foot down to meet the left. Inhale, left heel comes up. And then sweep that left foot through. Do the same on the other side. So finding that low runner's lunge. Maybe being a little, or noticing if there's any differences on this side. So give a little rock forward and back. Feel into the hips. Maybe the side's a little more tight or a little more sore. Go ahead and plant the right palm on the inside of the left foot. Inhale, left hand comes up to the sky, revolve side angle. Take one more breath here. Bring that left hand down on the exhale. Frame the left foot. Plant the left palm on the inside of the left foot. Drop the right heel. Inhale, right hand comes up. Side angle, full side angle. Bring the right hand down. Frame the left foot. Tuck those right toes. And then we'll lengthen out that left knee, and scoot the right foot up. Drop the right heel. Come into that pyramid. Tuck the chin to the chest. Forehead either to the shin or to the knee. Take one more breath here. And then gently bring a bend to that left knee, tuck those right toes, plant the palms, left heel comes up and back, three-legged dog. Bring the left foot down to meet the right. And then unroll into a high plank from your down dog. Find your high plank for a few breaths, maybe find stillness or maybe a little micro movements, a little sway side to side. In your high plank, inhale, then exhale, knees come down to the mat, or they can stay lifted. We're gonna go through a Chaturanga. So keeping the elbows hugged into the ribs. Inhale, untuck the toes, either low cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhaling, rolling over those toes, downward facing dog. Give a few breaths here. Pedal at the feet.
Inhale, left heel comes up to the sky. Exhale, sweep that left foot through. Finding that low runner's lunge. Drop that right heel. Left hand on the inside of the left foot. Come back to that side angle. And then use the core and come up into warrior two. Maybe adjust the stance if you need to. Keeping that left knee above the left ankle, reaching through those fingertips. Inhale, reach with that left hand a little more. Reach forward with the left hand. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand comes down the right leg, or maybe bring the right arm on the low back. Come back to warrior two. Lengthen out the left knee. Reach forward with that left hand. Right hip moves back. Trikhanasana. One more breath here. Use the core, come back up. Keep the left knee straight. The left toes will point towards the right side of the mat. And then right toes will point towards the back of the mat. And then sink back into your warrior two right here. So right knee right over that right ankle. Inhale, reach forward with the right hand. And then reverse your warrior. Come back to warrior two. Lengthen out the right knee. We'll come into Trikhanasana. Left hip moves back. Reach that right hand forward. Imagining your body's between two plates of glass, so flat as can be. Reaching through the fingertips and breathe. Inhale, come up. Bring the right toes to point towards the left side of the mat, so both toes here are pointed straight in front of you towards the right side of the mat. So reaching with those fingertips out to the sides, and then bring those fingertips up to the sky. And then exhale, swan dive, hinge at the hips. Come into a wide-legged straddle. Allow the neck to be heavy, allow the head to be heavy. Give the head a shake yes and no. Release the neck. Release the shoulders. We're gonna spend a little bit of time here. So do whatever movement feels good. Allow yourself to sink in here. Maybe give a little sway side to side, bending one knee, straightening out the other. And then come into stillness. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, hold here. Either grab a block or bring the left hand to the floor, to a block if you have a prop with you. And then come into that side angle with the wide leg. So left hand plants. Inhale, right hand comes up. Right shoulder stacked on left. It's a great hip opener here. One more breath right here. Then the right hand comes down, planting that right palm on the floor or on a block. Inhale, left hand comes up. One more breath. And exhale, forward fold, wide-legged straddle fold. We'll work into the shoulders here. So inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Bring the hands to the low back, interlace the fingers. And then the exhale brings them to a wide-legged yoga mudra. So interlace fingers, move up to the sky. Rinsing out the shoulders. Maybe create a yes and no motion with the head. One more breath. Inhale, flat back. Release those hands on the low back. Wide-legged straddle fold. And then walk the hands back to the front of the mat, framing out that left foot. And then here, heel toe the left foot to the left edge of the mat, so both hands on the inside of the left foot. And then scoot that right foot back as much as it'll go, and then drop the right knee down to the mat. Untuck the right toes, coming into lizard. You should feel a deep stretch on that right hip flexor. You can stay here, or if you would like, you can come down to the forearms to bring yourself a little deeper into this hip opener. If there's any tension or soreness in the hips, allow yourself just to breathe into it and release. Release that tension. Only focusing on your breath. Each exhale releases a little deeper into this hip opener. I'll take a couple more breaths here. Go ahead and plant the palms, lengthen out the elbows, and tuck the right toes. Right knee comes off the mat. And then walk the hands back to the middle of the mat, so you'll come into a wide-legged straddle. And then keep walking the hands to the back of the mat, tucking those left toes, and both hands on the inside of the right foot. And then scoot that left foot back as much as it'll go, and then drop the left knee to the mat. And lizard on the other side. So notice if there's any differences here. Maybe this side's a little tighter. Just be mindful of where you are. If you would like, go ahead and come down to the forearms to bring yourself a little deeper. And just focusing on the breath and focusing on release. Take one more breath here. And go ahead and plant the palms, lengthen out the elbows, tuck the left toes, left knee comes off, and walk the hands all the way back to the front of the mat. Plant the palms, left foot comes up and back, three-legged dog, bring the left foot down to meet the right, and take it through your flow, Chaturanga Tandasana. Exhale, bend the elbows graze along the ribs, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhaling, rolling over the toes, downward dog. Take 5 breaths here. And from here in your down dog, bring the toes to the edges of the mat. So wide-legged down dog. And then bring the right hand on the inside, on the middle of the mat. Plant in that right palm. Inhale, then exhale. Reach the left hand, crossing the body to the outside of the right calf, right thigh, or maybe reaching the right ankle. Coming into a twist in your downward dog. And then bring the left hand to the middle of the mat. Plant the left palm. Inhale. Exhale, reach that right hand to the outside of the left leg. Wherever it reaches. And come into that twist. And then come back to your full down dog. Keeping the feet wide. Go ahead and walk the hands to the back of the mat. Wide-legged straddle fold at the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. This time bring the hands to your heart center, palms together. And then exhale, come into Malasana squat, yogi squat. Elbows can be on the knees, hands can be at heart center, or you can open up the arms. Really allowing yourself to sink into the hips. A few more breaths right here. Imagining a string connected to the crown of your head, pulling you up, really trying to keep the spine lengthened, spine straight. One more breath. And then plant the palms in front of you. Go ahead and float the hips back up to the sky, lengthening out the knees. And then walk the hands back to the front of the mat, coming back to your down dog. Then come into your high plank and take it through a flow of Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And pedal it out. Go ahead and bring the knees down to the mat. Coming back to your child's pose, knees wide, sink the hips to the heels. And sink into the hips. Notice any differences between right now and earlier. Any differences in the body, the physical body, the mental body. And go ahead and walk the hands back to the knees, coming to a seat. And lengthen out the legs long in front of you. And shimmy around, move side to side. And go ahead and bring the hands and move the flesh out from underneath the seat so the sit bones are rooted to the mat. So give a little shake side to side, moving all that flesh out from underneath the seat and really allowing those sit bones to be really rooted into the mat. And sit up tall. Find the hands on the thighs. Roll the shoulders up and back. And just allow yourself to be here. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up. And then reach that left hand to the outside of the right leg or the right foot. And coming to a twist. And then come back. To center, inhale, circle sweep the arms up, and then reach that right hand to the outside of the left leg or the left foot. This really opens up the scapula and the shoulder blades and the upper back. And inhale, come back forward. Inhale, circle sweep the arms up. Then exhale, really focus on that hinge in the hips, coming to a seated forward fold. And keep those shoulders away from the ears. forehead, moving down towards the knees, belly button or belly coming to the thighs. Give a couple breaths here. Next inhale glides the hands along the shins, coming back up to a seat. And then scoot the seat to the middle of the mat. And allow yourself just to gently come back down to the back body. And from here, we're going to come into Garudasana, eagle legs. So go ahead and cross the legs. Right leg crosses over the left leg. And then arms long on both sides of the body. And we're going to lift the hips up and then scoot the hips to the left or to the right. And then the knees will fall to the left. So before you bring the knees down to the left, just bring the hips up and scoot the hips slightly to the right. And then drop the knees to the left. So right hip is stacked on the left. Right arm long. You can bring that left hand onto the right hip or the right knee for some added support. And allow yourself just to release here. And then gently bringing the knees back up and then scoot the hips to the middle of the mat, back to center. Unravel the legs and then bring the left leg, wrap it around the right leg, Garudasana legs on the other side. Bring the hips up and then scoot the hips to the left. And then allow the knees and legs to fall to the right. Coming into that supine twist with Garudasana legs, eagle legs. And breathe, centering the breath into the belly. Take one more big breath here. And then bring the knees back to center, bring the hips back to center, unravel the legs. And you can bring a little movement into the knees, left and right, if that feels good for you. Releasing any other tension that might be holding on. Then bring the knees to stillness. And just like we did earlier, we'll come into bridge. So inhale, bring the hips up. Arms long on both sides of the body. Squeezing the glutes at the top, and then exhale, bring the hips back down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, bring the hips up. Exhale, bring the hips down. Inhale, bring the hips up and hold. 5 breaths here. Taking this whole practice slow. Slowing down in our routines, slowing down and stepping away from the noise, and stepping into the body. Take 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, bring those hips back down to the mat. And then bring the knees into the chest.
Give a little rock side to side. And go ahead and take a happy baby here if you'd like. Hands can be on the outsides of the calves or the ankles or the feet. Finding stillness or maybe a little movement, you can rock side to side. Maybe bring some movement into the knees and legs. And then go ahead and release the feet. Bring the feet down to the earth. And then lengthen out one leg and the other leg. Giving any last little shimmy in the body, little wiggle in the body. Releasing anything that may be holding on in the physical body. And just allow yourself to be still, finding your Shavasana. Finding a place of stillness for your body and mind to absorb the benefits of your practice. And just releasing into gravity. Allow yourself to be still. I encourage you to stay in your Shavasana for at least 3 to 5 minutes, if not longer. I thank you for tuning in with me on Ila On Demand, and I wish you all love and to stay healthy and happy wherever you are out in the world. And thank you for tuning in. The love and the light in me feels and sees that love and light in all of you out there. Thank you. Namaste.